Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Hey guys, Laughing Up Fuzzball 70 here. I hope you're all well. Today we're going to do something a bit different. Given the complete lack of newness out there at the moment as far as figures, vehicles and come what may from Hasbro for this interim period now before we get the next release, I thought I might take the opportunity to do a video to basically answer what Laughing Up Fuzzball does to create a video on his YouTube channel. I get asked lots of questions, some I get asked very regularly, some not so regularly, but I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight on what I actually do. The first question, and definitely the most regularly asked, is what I actually shoot my HD videos on, what video camera I use. Well, I actually don't use a video camera at all, I actually use one of these. That's right, nothing more complicated than an iPhone 4S. It's the phone that I use in my day-to-day life, and it shoots in 720p and 1080p, and also has an app, a YouTube app, directly on given it's a multimedia phone, so I can directly upload to YouTube after I've actually shot the video itself, so there's no transfer going on. You can also notice probably today more so than most days the phone is a little bit, or the image is a little bit shaky, and that's because it's not on this. I use a multimedia phone tripod. Let me see if I can focus that better for you there. As you can see, this top section here is where the phone is placed. There's a ball jointed hinge here which allows me to adjust using this bolt here, and then I set the frame accordingly. Okay, so the next thing I use is these. What you'll see there is something which you'd probably see if you go to a wedding or to a convention with your name on a table. This just allows items which are carded to actually stand upright. You just simply slide it in like so, and it allows the item to actually stand upright. Sometimes the bubbles have a propensity, on carded items at least, to sort of lean forward, so that avoids that for you. Something which a lot of us use are these. That's action figure stands. The best ones, I believe, are these ones here, which come with the two different size pegs, one for vintage and one for modern. Sometimes the action figure itself, the hole underneath them to slot this into isn't deep enough. Simply file these down, problem solved, takes 2 minutes. Another item I use are these. You'll find these in IKEA or anywhere like, and that is LED lighting. It's portable, it's battery operated, so no mains required, and you can simply slot that inside of your display cabinet or your bookcase, and that sort of takes the figures up another level. You know, that you can highlight a figure, you can highlight a line of figures, so that's useful for that. Something else I use is this alcohol-free solution, sort of thing that you'll use on TV screens and so on. This is really good for when you actually review something on a card, so it's still within its bubble. It just gets rid of smears and fingerprints and allows the viewer to actually look clearly into the bubble itself to actually see the figure. Obviously these things come with cloths and things, but you know, simple thing, just wipe it over before you do it. Something I get asked about a lot are these, and that is a turntable. Once again, readily available on eBay. What it will allow the viewer to do is to actually watch the item in a 360, if that makes sense. So you can see there, this is a large scale one, so this is a 7-inch turntable. The one that you guys will be more familiar with probably is this one, which I use on my action figures, which is the probably, I don't know what I want to say there, 1.5, 2 inches squared, one battery, lasts a lifetime, so very easily used as well. Something else I use a lot, blue tack. Of course we all use blue tack, but maybe not so much glue dots. The reason why glue dots are good is they're translucent, and if you're going to apply something to plastic where you're actually going to sort of see through the plastic itself, they're good because they make the adhesive area at least much less noticeable. Something else which I need to talk about as well, lighting. Lighting for me is massively important. Ultimately what we're trying to achieve here, at least what a lot of us are trying to achieve here, is to actually review an action figure or a vehicle or some collectible or toy line. Lighting is the be all and end all of all of this. You really don't want it to look like, guys, at least I don't think you want it to look like it's been filmed in a shoebox. the viewer, from the viewer's point of view, the viewer wants to be able to see. We can all articulate, we can all speak 1,000 words, but ultimately the visual experience itself is it's the important part for the viewer. The viewer gets to visually see something, and then they can make an informed choice on whether they're actually going to pick that item up, purchase it or not. So the lighting is very, very important. If you get to the end of shooting a video and you scroll back on it and say to yourself, is the lighting good enough? I've done it 2 or 3 times myself. I looked at the lighting and thought, do you know what, it's not good enough. Scrap the video, start it again. It will reflect in the number of views you get as well. Your thumbnails will obviously show clearer images. Once again, that will attract people to it. So it's win-win. So lighting's a real must for most of us. And finally, the last piece, and none of this is really advice. Yeah? This is just what Fuzz does on Laugh It Up Fuzzball channel. Yeah, none of this is really advice. This is ultimately you're going to do what you're going to do, but this is just some of the things that I do. So please don't take it as me shoving it down your neck and it's the only way to do it, because it's not. But these are the things that I do. Is this, as my tripod collapses, just to show you, a notebook. Before I do any video, I will bullet point several points for each video, as you can see there. That's what I do. And what that allows me to do is I put it to the left or the right of me, and I don't want it to come across as scripted, because it isn't scripted, and there is no script that I read from or long line of things, but rather some bullet points. Viewers, in my experience, and me speaking as a viewer of other people's videos, when there's lots of ums and ahs and it can drag on. Yeah. A few bullet points to the left or the right of you just helps you, because we all have those moments where our mind goes blank and we completely lose train of thought. A few bullet points left and right of you does wonders for your videos, I assure you. Done wonders for my videos, put it that way, because if you look at my first, in fact, go back and look at my first video. Look at my first video, I think it's my Star Wars collection. I must have said I don't know, 1,000 times, literally. It was ridiculous how many times I said my children take the mickey out of me to this day about it. Right, well that's it. That's a few do's and don'ts, and the hints and tips and the things that Fuzz does on Laugh It Up Fuzzball 70 channel to produce a video for the channel. As always, your thoughts, feedback are very much welcomed. And until the next time, take care of yourselves, guys. Cheers now, Fuzz.